You're always gone. You're never here. That's basically making themselves into the victim of the relationship, saying that, you know, the wrong is on you and not of me. And when I decided that I wanted to be, um, when I decided that I wanted to get married, when I was like 18, I really wanted to well, 16 is when I was like, man, I want a wife. But, in that I made decisions upon myself. I said it would never be a situation where I ever cheated if I got married. And it would never be a situation where I would try to leave if I got married. I would always look at the situation and say, I got to do something better. I got to, there's something that I didn't do right. Something that I didn't do. And that's basically saying I'm not going to try to make, I'm not going to be the victim of it. If I could do better, I could do better. Now, I wasn't living that in every aspect of my life, but I knew that's how I wanted to be in a relationship. Be in a marriage. I wanted to look at it and actually say, I'm not the victim. If something went wrong, I did it, so I can fix it. And a lot of people looked at me funny when I said that, but at the same time, you know, um, somebody has to step up and be the leader. Somebody has to step up and say, "I'm not the victim. I won't be the victim. I will do what I need to do to make this relationship work." You know, I've been in relationships where, we both didn't know what to do. We both didn't know how to handle the relationship. We both were looking for each other to show each other how to be the other person in a relationship. And it's kind of funny because if the other person doesn't know, you have to resort to what you know. And it may be the wrong thing. If you don't know how to handle a situation, it may be wrong the way that you handle it afterwards. I didn't know how to be and really handle myself in a relationship before, so a lot of stuff that I was doing was handling it in the wrong way because I chose not to find out how to handle those situations. I chose the other route. I looked at what I thought should be done and I went with that instead of finding out what really should be done to make my relationship work for the long run. Sorry, I had to burp. Gas came in. But yeah, that's what I decided. I decided to go with that. I decided to go with, I'm not going to be the victim. If something goes wrong, you may not know how to handle the situation, and I may know how to do it. So I must show you how to do it by doing it. And that's how, when it comes to I was listening to an article and I was listening to a video, and the guy was saying that, women like a man that stands his ground, that has a foundation that stands his ground, that doesn't move when he's pushed. If I can't stand, a woman doesn't like the guy that can be pushed, and they also don't like the guy that's needy. So I got to be able to stand my ground. I got to be able to, whatever comes along, I got to be able to say, all right, whatever, and push through whatever you're going through, because that might be the way you know how to handle a situation. And if you do, you might use that, and I can show you how to not handle the situation. So I do a lot of research upon how, to make a relationship, how to be good in a relationship. And this was a guy just saying to pick up women. But in a situation, he was showing me, how people like things. They like a foundation that's not rocky. They don't like they don't like a foundation that isn't solid. A solid foundation at the bottom. If you can't stand, if you put your house on, it says in the Bible, if you put your house on sand, most likely it's going to rock and it's going to break down. But if you put it on a rock, if you put it on something solid, It can stand through the wind. It can stand through the hard winds and the water hitting against it. It's also helped me with other relationships I had that I had to gain back, by not trying to act like I was the victim of their wrongdoing and just saying, hey, what can I do to fix, what I'm saying, fix what I did wrong? What can I do to make things better? Instead of trying to blame the person and act like they did wrong, just, hey, you know what? What can I do to make it better? What can I do to actually show that I mean to make this better? And it's actually helped fix relationships, especially with my kids' moms. When I stopped, trying to find a way to make it so that they're doing me wrong, or that I'm suffering from what they're doing to me. And instead just stepped up and said, you know what? I was wrong. I didn't do it correctly. I'm trying to do it as correct as I can do now. I may not be able to do everything, but I can put in as much effort as I can. Is that enough? Is that enough for you? Or what must I do to show you that that I mean that I'm not the victim anymore of this whole situation? And they told me, and it actually helped with conversations. It's more peaceful. It's more peaceful. It's more calm. Less arguments. A lot of better communication. Better communication with my kids from the moms. Just helping out, just helping and becoming a better person. So I said this in a Facebook today, that once I stopped playing the victim after all the questioning, I started to see all the answers. So if I try to make an excuse after every time a question is asked, I will never see the answer, because I always got an excuse. But the less I started to make excuses, the more I started to see what I can actually do to make things work. Yeah, that may just be me. It's just my opinion, basically, my perspective on things. Every person is different, but I feel like that may be one thing that'll help us work to a better person, is to not see ourselves as the victim anymore, especially men. A lot of men, I feel like with men, that the less that we play the victim and the more that we do better, the less we try to be a victim, will actually help us fix what we've made wrong. But that just can help. So I don't want to get into too much babbling, but yeah, I hope that situation helped a lot of people as far as everything. Remember, men, as long as you are not the victim, you can do better. You'll see how to do better by not being a victim of something. But I thank you, everybody, for showing up. I thank everybody for listening in. Definitely hit me up with your opinions about the show. Hit the follow button, hit the like button, whatever you could do to show your support. I'm definitely going to keep it going. I like the way the show is going. As far as people reaching out and saying, I like the show. So we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it live. We're going to keep it funky, and try to make this show the best show that it can actually be. So thank everybody, and I hope y'all have a good night, and definitely holla at me, because I'm going to holla at y'all.